So today I'm kind of sick of paying rent for all the things, so today we're a landlord and we're collecting rent. We just need to get some properties first. And to that end, we can get a residential place for $495 rent payment, which leaves $7,000 left over, and that's enough to get this pumpkin farm here, which is kind of cool. Now we have a quota of $5,000, so first let's collect rent and see how we end up. With $600, it's a decent start, but we can also get some plugins to boost the rent even more. Now, both of these actually seem pretty good, but since we're so early, I think it'd be good to get the rent boost because this is only for currently owned properties. So we'll get that, and then at the start of rounds, we get a little bit on top. So that's 2,000 that day, way better. Now there's also a perk for getting odd numbers of lots for a little bit more bonus money. I think we can do this, and then we'll have to buy this property slot here, which does take us down to $45. And then we can't really make most of it that day, but we are still earning the same amount, which is good. And then we'll need to go a little bit more to be able to afford anything else. So let's just go again. And now we have enough. So we pay early, and then we get a little bit of a bonus. And now the quota goes up to $10,000. But we do have 8.8 currently, so maybe it's time for another plugin, where these actually are not that great, because we can't use them. So another day, and then the properties are gonna switch, but so do the plugins. At the start of each round, increase the rent of all houses by 250 for every house owned. I do like the sound of this because we have 2 residences right now. Actually, do we? No, it's just a farm and a house. But at least we can increase the multiplier to the farmlands at the end of the round. Although the farmlands don't give us very much is the problem. But at least we can increase the rent every round start. So that earns more. And we do have some apartment buildings right now, but sadly they're way out of our budget. So we'll just keep going here. The rent goes up even more. Or I guess it's just at the start of the round. But we are in good pace to get our quota anyway. Just want to be able to afford things. And we do have the farmlands, so this vacant property bonus would be useful. So at least both properties that we have are giving us bonuses. And then if we just go one more day, that's enough. But it took us to the end of the week, so we don't get a bonus. At least we have farm properties again. So let's go ahead and take this onion patch here. And now we have an odd number of properties again. We'll just go through, get all of those bonuses. That's way better. That's our best day yet. Money. And of course there's a perk for even numbers of lots as well. But we're not at that point yet. Kind of just want to keep collecting things. And then checking the plugin, see what we get. Consistency. Or multiplier to all farmlands. I don't really want to stick with the farmlands though, because they give very little. Oh my goodness, there's castles too. How are there castles in this town? But we're actually pretty close to getting another residence. So let's keep collecting rent as we do, earning good amounts there, really hoping for another bonus, but we should be able to sell one of these farmlands and get a residence. Like, we can afford this one. So let's sell the pumpkin farm for a little extra money and then collect this residence up here, which is boosting the gated community, which must be a very big gate because look at how spaced out these are. Well, either way, there's this extra rooms one, which also adds a multiplier to all currently owned houses. I think we're gonna need this. We only have 2 houses, but at least it's a ×2 bonus for way better profits. And we completed rent early, 5,000 extra. And I kinda want to get this even lot now because we can buy a property and then we'll have an even number of them. So let's get this, open this up, and then we should be able to take advantage of that next round because there's another residence. Oh, this one gives more, but also the quota is 40,000. So hopefully we can pull this off. We can get rid of this one because we don't have an odd number anymore. And I'm not sure what these are about, but we can do this. So we're still doing good, earning 9,800 that day. Oh, wow. I really wish I could afford these perks. Random property receives a permanent increase to 5 times its rent, but it can no longer be sold. Well, that would be fun, but maybe we should trade in one of our residences for one of these more expensive ones as soon as we can afford them. We really should be sizing up our properties to keep up with the growing quota demands. We're pretty close to getting these apartment buildings, which is 70 times 10 for 700, which is way better, but what do we sell to make room for that? Also, the apartments don't benefit from the apartment buildings. We could buy this for a 20% discount, or just adding 500 to a random property. You know what, we can do both, which fills up all of our plugin slots, but we should be able to complete the rent on this day. Also, it just added it to the one that I wish it didn't. But if we get 4 houses, and that increases the rent by 1,000. So let's sell this. buy the house, and now we have 4 houses. That should hopefully be good. All the rent just went up to over 1,000. Wow, I'm sure the tenants love me. So now we have to do 80,000, but that was way better. Even though I have no idea how much we earned on the last day, I'm sure it was a bit. And now the scratch card actually isn't usable anymore, so let's just get rid of it. And neither is this. So at least we have room for more plugins. Not that any of these are good. So let's just save our money. And then we earn 11.8 thousand, or is that how much we're at? That's how much we're at currently. There's a residential bonus. That would stack very nicely. And it would be nice to get this one, but those castles are expensive. And I guess we can buy 2 more slots here, just so we can hopefully buy 2 more houses in the coming future. Or we could benefit from this one being as discounted as it is, because that also just adds more to the increase of rent. 28,000 there is where we're at. So we are earning more each day. We just have to hope it's enough. There is another house right here and right here, but we actually can afford the apartments now. 67 times 9? Oh, mental math is failing. Well, 70 times 9 is 630, so it's a little less than that, which is still better than all these houses. But is that better than the gated community bonus for adding 250 for every house owned? Because this would make it 1,500 increase all the time. And the only bonus that the apartment would get was from this one. I think we'll go with another house. So that should pay off way better, because now each place is offering pretty much 2,000 in rent, which $2,000 in rent, goodness. And there's only one house left. Or maybe not left, but there's one that's available here for 10,000. But this one is offering 70 times 9, so at least we know what that is. There's a scratch card there. Why don't we, hold on. Can we buy the apartment before that? Not currently. We can get the apartment if we buy another property slot, but we can't do both. So let's buy a scratch card now, add that to that house, and then get rid of it. Oh, I got rid of that? I didn't know it would do that. Well, let's just buy another house then. So we are earning more. We're almost there. Oh, just a little bit more and we would have gotten that bonus. Also, the industrial factories are super expensive, and we need one more property to get the even bonus, so there we go. This should be quite the payout here. It's too bad we can't really carry that over to the next week. And now we have to pay 160. We're kind of very close here all the time. I think we can afford to re-roll this once though. Whoa, landlord's favorite. Really wish I had this, but there's a scratch card again. Now we just won't get rid of it this time until we get rid of whatever property is on it. But we are still earning a decent amount. I would just like more so we can get a bonus. So you're the one with the scratch card bonus. Ooh, each time rent is collected, there's a 10% chance to multiply rent by ×2. But then there's also that multiplier there again to all currently owned properties, which would be a huge help if we can up those multipliers. I think we can be done with this consistency perk, so let's do that and then get this one for sure. I would like this one too. Is trading in a scratch card worth that? I think it is. Just keep going back and forth on the scratch card. Don't worry about it. We just have a chance to earn double, although it's not a very big chance, but we did earn quite a bit there. 57,000. Man, those multipliers really make a difference. We have 116,000 now. That should be enough to buy a couple more, or maybe just one more property and then get another house in there. Probably should have checked the prices of other ones, but we can trade out, I guess, the one that we just bought and then afford this one, which has 500 initially. So that's gonna be a huge bonus. Really leaning into the houses here, but it is paying off, which is good. We're definitely gonna make the profit by tomorrow. Just see another property slot here, at least unlocked. And then maybe re-roll once. There's the scratch card again, but we have no room for it. I don't really want to trade in anything either. Well, we'll just keep that going. And there's the bonus kicking in. Very good. Easily crushing the quota. Pay early. 320,000 next. But we only have to do this for a couple more weeks, and we're already on week 7 out of 10. And there's a house right there. Or do we lean into an apartment? 129 times 7. And it would still benefit from this residential one. Hey, we can get the 3-in-1 perk. Adds together rent and multipliers? Sure, that would free up space. Oh, we've reached the maximum number of plugins though. That's right. Let's get rid of this residential bonus for now because it's a common perk, so we should be able to see it again in the future. And then we can get this one for combining 3 houses. Which, is it doing that or will it do it this next turn? Okay, there it went. Hollyhock Hill is 8,000 times 5. Wow. And it seems like the multiplier determines how many times rent is collected, so that's cool. 79,000 there, pretty good pace already. And now we have more room for properties. So we can get the apartment building, but we got rid of the residential bonus. New customers. If we had commercial buildings, this would be good, which there are some available, like this restaurant here, Venetian Bistro, which earns 1,000 already. And for all of the residential properties that we have, which is 7 of them, that would boost that to an 8 times multiplier. Am I reading that right? I feel like I'm reading that right. We can give it a go, but of course, maximum number of perks. And I think we can't really afford to get rid of this one. At least we can get more residentials here, so that'll work. And then there's the even number again, so at least we're good there. All the multipliers going. There's a critical. Very good, very good. Nice rental collection that day. And there's the residential bonus again, but we can't really trade anything unless we get rid of this. But this is per property, so that's pretty good. I guess we could get rid of the rent boost because 1,250 is not that much anymore. And then that supremacy would be really good to get. Let's trade this out for this one. And then we need that castle, which we should be able to afford a few turns from now. We're just not making the most of our earnings currently, but we are still able to. And oh, no more castle, but we do have 2 more slots open, so we should definitely get another apartment building, especially one that has 8 multipliers on it. Even if it's only $94, it's still gonna be good because this place is earning 15,000 for us now, and that is a little more. We're definitely gonna get it, just no bonuses, which is sad. And no castles showing up either. At least we can get another house to boost that income more there, which I think is gonna be better than this apartment here, since we're still benefiting from gated communities. And that is certainly more. That's very much more. Week 8, 640,000 now. Still no castles. This one wouldn't be too bad actually to trade out one of our current apartments, like this one. So we can sell that by this one, which is gonna be a lot of rental collections. And the crits are happening pretty early, so hopefully it happens more often, especially with the times 11 on the apartments. That is good, but it's not good enough. Oh, but there's the castle, good. And we can afford it, even better. 4.6 times 1, which the times 1 isn't great, but we do have the supremacy here, so it increases the multiplier of all rental properties. Why don't we sell this one to buy this castle, and there we have all 3. Now we should definitely work on expanding our listings more. I think that's where we're falling short. So at least we can buy that, get another house. We don't have the even numbers anymore, but at least the castle is gonna be earning quite a bit. Already we're earning over 100,000 and we're not even halfway through the list. Or we kind of are halfway through the list, but there we go, 158. Okay, that's way better. And there is another castle, but we can't afford that. Can we, how much do we sell this castle for? 82,000? That would be enough to upgrade to this one, especially since we can't afford another property slot there. So let's trade in this castle for the bigger castle, Gloomreach. Surprisingly sounds kind of familiar. So hopefully this does good for us. All the critical rentals are coming in, hoping for 180,000. Oh, 163. Okay, so it looks like we are in good pace to collect all the rent that we need. I would just like to buy more properties though. And of course, this one is earning ever so slightly more. It has been making a difference though, day to day, so it would be good to trade this in. So sorry, Gloomreach, you were fun while you lasted. But this residential bonus, we have a lot of rent collections now, so this would be really good to get. We could trade out the even lot for that. So I think yes. And then residential bonus should be good. Oh yeah, that's very good. Really glad we got that again. That is, wow, that is really racking up there. But there's no criticals this time, or at least not as many as there were before. So I don't think we earned as many as the day before. Actually, we did. We are on pace to paying this off. Although I'm kind of worried about when next week quota is gonna be, because we're cutting this kind of close. And actually, it looks like we're gonna be slightly short. Oh, good, we weren't. It was just being very wait till last moment kind of thing. Okay, so we did overshoot it quite a bit. 1.3 million now? Oh boy, there's the landlord's favorite again. I would certainly like to make use of that. Maybe we trade out the landlord's luck, because that 10% chance isn't happening as often as I would like. The good news is we can afford another property slot, and we should be able to afford this house with that. So there's a little more there, and I totally forgot about this, but I think, yeah, we'll get rid of the luck and then switch to favorites. So that means a random property is chosen to yield 2 times its rent for that round, so it's gonna be a lot more consistent. And it looks like the daffodil dwelling got chosen for ×2. If that went down to an apartment building, that would be amazing. Or the castle. I think the castle would be better. But I think we are gonna need to earn quite a bit more than that, because that wasn't even a 4th. Is this a 5th? A little less than that. We're kind of close, and there's gonna be one more round after this. At least this apartment building is a little better than this one, so we can sell that, adopt this one, for just a little bit more there, and then the landlord's favorite, I'm not sure who got it. Hopefully it's the apartment that we just traded out. It was the terrace. Okay, not bad. Still kind of lackluster though. 2 castles would be really fun to get, but we still can't afford another property slot, which is an issue. Are there any houses that we can trade out right now? It's a little bit of a problem because they still have the bonus from this one. Unless I come up again in the plug-in shop, I think we just gotta go another day. There's a lot of houses that are getting the favorites, which is fine because they're ×2 on the rent, but we're still not getting as much as I would like. At least we can afford another property now, but we won't be able to really do anything with that to any effect. But we'll have to buy this for now. And then I think we're just gonna have to hope for something good after this round. It's not ideal, but I think it's what we have to do. Which, oh, if we can do good this day, we'll meet our ends. We can afford another castle. Is the castle gonna be the best thing? I feel like it is. Just because that's a lot of rent right there. Especially if it's getting more multipliers. We're taking another castle. Whoa, a penthouse. At the start of each round, a random apartment gets its multiplier increased by +10. We only have one, so it's guaranteed to be this one. Is there a better one, actually? I think that's the best apartment we're gonna get, but what plugin do we trade out for that? We are so incredibly close. We've been getting, like, an extra 1,600 because of this, and that's definitely not enough, but that would actually pair really good with the other one. And I'm worried about getting rid of this one because we might lose the combined nature of the houses. Also, the last property slot costs 1.3 million in itself. I'm kind of scared to see what next week is, if we get to next week. Also, how are there 2 Ravenclaw castles? Why can't one be Ravenclaw and another be like, I don't know, Slytherin? I feel like we might have to trade this out. 100 nice times, that would be 21. Okay, just ran the numbers and this actually does give more. So we're gonna have to keep that, but oh, it's so weird because I feel like no matter what we do here, it's not gonna be good enough. I guess this one is not as good as this one, so we can upgrade that, but it's also pretty much the only thing we can upgrade. We can see if there's a better perk. There's the even lots again, rental boost, scratch cards. Nothing really worth giving up any of this for, so I think we just gotta send it and hope for the best, which I'm very hesitant of if it is gonna be enough. That's a million, and then there's 1.1. Oh, we're shy. Dang, but we made 3 million total money. It was going so good. Well, I guess that means we're going back to paying rent for things. So I hope you guys enjoyed this look at Rentlord. We can definitely get synergies with other types of properties, so if you guys do want to see more of this game, then be sure to let me know. Thank you for watching, and sub to Intern.